One of the many issues that has confused the community is the relative strength of cannabis available today. It is important to note that there are a number of issues that affect the potency of the cannabis plant. Plant variety. Many people don't realize that there are many different varieties of the plant, including Cannabis sativa and Cannabis indica. Indica is a small and bushy plant which has a shorter growth cycle than sativa. There are numerous new hybrid versions available that have different growing cycles, size, potency, and cannabinoid makeup. Variations in cannabinoids and the concentration of THC, CBD, and CBN results in different effects. Different parts of the plants have different concentrations of THC. The unfertilized flowers, buds, or heads of the female plant contain higher concentrations of THC than the leaves or stems. Different forms of the drug result in varying potencies. For example, flowers, hash or resin, and hash oil all have differing amounts of THC. Depending on the storage method, THC degrades over time. Exposure to sun and air will reduce the potency of the drug. Bush buds commonly refers to an outdoor-grown plant and is more likely to be a sativa variety. Hydrocannabis commonly refers to cannabis that is grown indoors in a controlled environment. Available evidence suggests that hydroponic cultivation has become the norm in Australia in the past 15 to 20 years. Growing a plant indoors means that there is more control of light, humidity and temperature, helping the chosen plant to reach its full potential THC level. Hydroponic cultivation also allows for unseasonal growth and the production of up to 4 crops per year, as opposed to 1 crop which flowers over the summer months. Adding to the potency issues is the presence of adulterants. Plants grown indoors are also more likely to be contaminated with fertilizers, chemical sprays, growth hormones and pesticides. Researchers are still investigating the effects of products used in the growing cycle on cannabis users. Studies have shown that naturally occurring contaminants such as Aspergillus fungi or heavy metals from the soil can remain in the plant when it is not adequately flushed or washed and dried. Aside from all of these factors that contribute to the potency of cannabis, the common belief in the community is that cannabis has become much stronger these days.
One thing I think the sector is still confused about relating to cannabis use is the effect of the new hybrid varieties of cannabis that are available in Australia these days and around the world. I think there's a lot of confusion amongst people believing that the higher potency cannabis is contributing to significant harm. And that's why I think it's very important for us in Australia to get good data on potency.
Long-term studies of cannabis potency in the US, the UK and Europe particularly have found that there has in fact been a doubling in cannabis potency, at least in certain countries over a 10 to 20 year period. However, this masks the fact that there is still incredible variability in cannabis potency even within 1 year, and that there are different methods used for assessing cannabis potency, so we don't really know what the doubling means in terms of what people are actually smoking. There is no long-term Australian evidence that cannabis in this country has become stronger because we've never done any long-term studies, and that's why we've had to rely on overseas evidence. I think there's a common belief that more potent cannabis is more dangerous to people's health. Particularly, I think there are concerns around its impact on mental health, such as psychotic symptoms. And while there may be some biological reasons why this may be true, particularly the fact that THC has an impact on the brain in a certain way, we really, again, don't have the evidence to be able to answer that question one way or the other.